Going to be playing out an interview I did a little earlier on, end of last week, with the great John Lodge, him of Moody Blues fame. He's remastered Days of Future Past. He's re-recorded Days of Future Past. And I spoke to him on Thursday. Or was it Friday? Anyway, end of last week, about his upcoming release of Days of Future Past. One more time. From that, this is Peak Hour. Days of Future Past, my Sojourn. A classic album. You could say it's an era-defining album. It's been reworked by the Moody Blues John Lodge. It comes out today, the release of the new version of the Moody Blues classic album. Delighted to say, joining me live on the line is the man himself, John Lodge. John, good morning to you.
Good morning, Giles.
Good to have you with. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun when they say it's a classic, it's one of the old, it's an era-defining album, etc.
I know, it's 55 years. 56 years this year, at the end of this year.
Good grief.
But, it is. And it was absolute joy to go back in the studio. It started off as a live concert. After COVID, I was trying to think what to do about a concert. And I talked with my daughter, Emily, who manages me, and Alan Hewitt, my keyboard and musical director. I said, could we do Days of Future Past live on stage? And we talked about it for a few weeks, and there was one person I needed to give that stamp to say yes, and it was Graham Edge. So I went to see Graham, and I said, Graham, I'm thinking of doing Days of Future Past on stage. I said, would you go into the studio with me and re-record the poetry which you'd written for Days of Future Past? And I said to him, you'll always have a place on stage for me if you do that. And he said, John, I'd love to. It'd be an honour. And he said, John, keep the Moody Blues music alive. And that was like the tick. I thought, I'm away now. So went in and rehearsed. And it took about over a year of rehearsals to get it right. Mm. And I also asked John Davison from Yes, the singer from Yes, if he'd join me on stage, and he said yes. And we did final rehearsals, and I thought, I think Emily, my daughter, said, you should record this. It's a piece of history you've just done. And so I went to the studio and recorded the whole album again with some variants because I wanted to take it into 2023. I wanted the album to stand up as the album today, not a retrospective album, as though the original didn't exist, And I love the album. I think the band have played incredible, great music. And I said on the sleeve notes, I hope people listening to this will say, hey, let's go back and listen to the original.
You've just said something that's made my little eyes perk up, little ears peek up, and my eyes shine. Sleeve notes. Are we talking vinyl then? It's going to be available on vinyl rather than, because people don't get sleeve notes on a download, John.
Just a moment. I'll show you something.
Oh, here we go. And for those listening, John is now walking back through his palatial manor to his large bookcase. He is heading towards the mic. He's heading towards the screen with good grief. I am honoured. I'm describing this, John, so people can't see it. Days of Future Past. First test press. Oh, blimey! First test pressing. 100%. That's a piece of history there. That is.
Yeah, it just arrived a couple of days ago from Germany.
Yeah.
First test pressing, and I listened to it, and I love it. The beauty of vinyl, as you know, the sound on vinyl is incredible, and the Germans actually make great vinyl, and this is it. So that's the first one, everyone.
Well, yeah, I'm just describing that to the listeners. Yeah, there's a warmth, isn't there, with the vinyl, and that must have been one of the perhaps the things to guard against, because it would have been very easy to go back into a 21st century studio with all the things that you have available that you didn't have back in 1960 blah, 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 years ago, and then overwork it, and put too many frills and whistles and bells and effects. But obviously the trick was to keep it close to the original.
Yeah, I wanted to be exactly giving you the same emotion as the original, but as I said, with a 2023 audio feel, and that's what we went out to achieve, and I think we've done that. I really think. I hope everyone, when they listen to the CD and finally the album, they'll agree, especially when they're reading the liner notes and looking at the photographs and all the razzmatazz you can get when you got a vinyl record.
It must be quite strange when you go into the studio to redo something like this, because you must get those memories of what it was like and where you were in 1967/1968. At that point in your lives, and suddenly you're doing the same solos, you've got the same drum fills. Because music will reignite a memory. You can listen to a song and it'll take you, this better than me, John, it'll take you to a certain place at a certain time, whoever you were with, whatever sights, sounds and smells you were doing at the time.
Yeah, what I wanted to do with this album, I wanted to become the other guys in the band. And I thought that's the only way I can give reverence to them as vocalists and people. So a song like Another Morning on the album, which is Ray Thomas, I wanted to be Ray for that song, because I wanted, if he was alive today, I wanted him to be able to say, yeah, John, thank you. And I did it, everyone, with Mike Pinder. I tried to get into Mike's head at that time and reproduce the song today as Mike would do it,
And so the other thing, of course, you mentioned the whole thing about audio, and you mentioned you've got, people from Yes, members of Yes in it as well. Prog rock, talk quite about this, but prog rock's making a bit of a comeback now, isn't it?
Prog rock is really happening. It really is. And because it's the essence of rock and roll, really, British rock and roll, I think, and which spread around the world. And modern music has come back to where it was in the early 60s, where it was like 2-3 minutes of an up-tempo song from A to B. But today, people are looking for more, something different.
So, what do you hope that people are going to take from? What do you hope that people are going to take from the album?
What? Sorry.
Do you hope that the people are going to take for those presumably you're looking for a new audience who are going to discover this, and also for people who bought the album first time around?
I think what I'm hoping is you have said the prog rock is reignited and is becoming big again, and really Days of Future Past was the beginning of prog rock, and I hope a new audience who will discover the album as a prog rock album for 2023.
The album is, of course, The Days of Future Past, my Sojourn. When it's out on the 22nd. If people want to find out more about you and about the album itself, John, what should they do? Where can they go? Where can they get hold of it?
JohnLodge.com, Moody Blues Today, Spotify, YouTube.
But go and get the vinyl, yeah. Go and buy the vinyl, for goodness sake.
Well, the vinyl will be out probably during November. Beautiful time for a Christmas present.
Exactly, the perfect. I was going to say Christmas stocking, but if it's the vinyl, no way. And you spent a lot of time down in this particular part of the world, Costa del Sol, Spain. Any chance of seeing you guys playing live down here in the near future?
Oh, I'd love to. I met a promoter just recently, and I said to him, "Listen, I want to go down to Spain. I'll play any of the bull rings anywhere."
Yeah, there's something about playing the bull ring with the Moody Blues, and the bull rings are brilliant for sound and a brilliant atmosphere.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I love Spain anyway. It's got a special place in my heart. Yeah, and having met you several times before as well, John, I think with Spain's got a special place for you as well, to put it mildly. The album revisited is The Days of Future Past. Go check out JohnLodge.com. John, it's been great to catch up with you again. Thanks so much for your time today. Giles, thank you very much, and continued success, and may not be 27 years before the next one.
I'll have a large cafe con leche for that one. Thanks very much for your time, John Lodge.
Bye.
From the album Days of Future Past, my Sojourn, this is Another Morning. Oh, that's good, isn't it? Days of Future Past, my Sojourn, John Lodge, released today. You can download it, of course, but go and buy the vinyl, John Lodge. Thanks for taking the time to speak to me.